Kia ora anō. Our first search using Search Everything's advanced template gave us lots of articles, some of which don't really fit our topic, but I saw a few articles about attitudes and peers that really interest me and makes me wonder if my topic could be modified to could Māori youths help each other reduce their rates of smoking?
So what can we glean from these articles to develop my search? Looking at this first example on the results list, the highlighted terms are my search terms, and the highlighted subject terms are of particular interest. Not only do they tell me more about this article, these are good terms for me to use in my search. The subject headings are a controlled vocabulary, meaning they are the subsidized terms that are consistently used in the database for these subjects. Language changes over time, so a search that looks for keywords, as with my previous search, might have missed some articles depending on the language used in them. So this standardization of terms means that sometimes the terms seem very old-fashioned, even inappropriate, but by using the controlled vocabulary, you can be sure to find more articles on your topic, even if the language we have used has changed. Now, in this first article, I notice that smoking prevention is a term that's used. Let's use that in our next search instead of effects. And as it's a subject heading here, I'll select subjects on this field here. Right, that's really narrowed it down. Just 7 here, but I'll have a closer look at each of them. Hovering the mouse over this icon here gives you the abstract. If the abstract doesn't look any good, just move on. It's not going to get any better than that. That's what sells it to you. This will save you having to download the PDF. If the abstract does look promising though, to access the article, you've got some other options. This one is available as a web page. You can download the PDF. This one though, where it says Full Text Finder, it links out to another provider. Here it is. But if, for example, this one, it leads you to a dead end. Right? So if that happens, and you're interested in, you've read the abstract and you are interested in this article, send us the details, the title and this line here, and we will endeavour to get it for you. Put those details into the chat or an email to the library. Now, when reading an article for the first time, you don't need to read the whole thing. If you like the look of the abstract, that's a summary, then read the introduction. This will give you some more details about the study, but then jump straight down to the very end, well not quite the very end, to the conclusions. Then if it's still looking relevant, once you've read the conclusions, then save it so you can return later to read it start to finish. You don't need these other details when you're just doing your initial search. Many assignments require that you apply your research to Northland. Oh, there are no results here, but you might find relevant information from other areas that are similar to ours. Just consider what characteristics of Northland apply to your research question. Then compare the discussions you read about in other places to our situation with details from statistics, facts and figures from an internet search. This will show you New Zealand government websites, statistics from Statistics New Zealand, here's the Ministry of Health, and non-governmental agencies that are including information about Northland. They will see what the situation is in Te Tai Tokerau. The language that you use in your internet search can be less formal, and search engines like Google will look automatically for variations on words. So if you entered children, it would also look for child. But you can instruct the databases to look for variations by using truncations and wildcards. Look up the help function. Wildcards. Here, to find which symbols this particular database uses. Let's have a look again and we'll apply some of these. If we wanted, for example, child or children, we would put child asterisk as a truncation. If you've got to the stage where you have tweaked your search until it's getting you good results, you can sign in. This is external to Northtec. You'll have to create an account. But now you can set up an alert on this search, and then you tell the database how often they should run that. When they do that, if they find any newly published articles that fit your search, you'll be emailed with them. Nice.
So in this video, we've looked at using the controlled vocabulary of the search headings, more about Boolean operators, truncations and wildcards, how to frame your search around the characteristics of Te Tai Tokerau, and then use an internet search to go to government and Northland-based websites that have statistics and reports about this area that we can relate back to the research. I mentioned how to save time by not reading the whole article right through immediately. I mentioned that the controlled vocabulary and the scholarly terms are the language of the database, and you'll get better results if you speak to the database in its own language. By now you'll be ready to start saving some of the articles you're finding and record your searches so that you can run them again later. In the next video, we'll look at some ways that you can start to save your work and get organised.